Right. Hello YouTube, this is the D.B.T Gaming Show. Episode 25, Part 3. And we're still reviewing Sonic Adventure 2 for the Sega Dreamcast and the Nintendo GameCube. Now, if you haven't watched Part 1 or Part 2 yet, you've missed quite a bit, so I suggest you watch those parts before you watch this part. Now, I left off just after starting on the gameplay. Gameplay for this game is really good. There are two story modes when you start the game. You've got the hero story and the dark story. The hero story has got the good guys in it, and the dark story, most characters are bad guys, but some of them turn good eventually. So, in the hero story, you get three characters. You get Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails. In the dark story, you get Dr. Robotnik, Shadow, and Rouge the Slut, or Rouge the Bat. Whatever you want to call her. Now, let's begin with Sonic's. Sonic's levels. Sonic's levels in this game are pretty good. It's fine with my favourite ones. Here we go. Sonic's and Shadow's levels are pretty much the same. Basically, they're speed-based action levels. I mean, if you've played the old Sonic games, you will know what Sonic's levels are like. Basically, running for levels, trying to get to the end in one piece. Collecting rings keeps you from dying. If you get hit, you lose all your rings. If you get hit again, you're dead. There are several TVs in this game. There are ring TVs, sneaker TVs, invincible TVs, all that sort of stuff. Getting through the levels is pretty easy for me to play as Sonic. Controls work pretty well apart from the glitch I point out in Part 1 and Part 2. That's basically Sonic and Shadow's levels. Now, when it comes to explaining Tails and Dr. Robotnik's levels, Tails and Dr. Robotnik's levels are okay, but they're alright, but they could have made them better, really. Basically, Tails and Dr. Robotnik's levels, you're in a giant robot walking machine of sorts. You can basically there's a inside giant robot. This giant robot's basically like the E102 Gamma from Sonic Adventure. These levels are basically shoot 'em ups. Just walking the levels, tapping the B button several times, and blasting anything that comes in your way. The levels are pretty good, but these walkers, they're good, but they have a few problems. First things first, jumping isn't very high. You can also hover where you obtain the hover boost, which hover boosts are must, and they really do help you get through the levels. There are other items which you can collect, such as a stronger laser, missile launcher, all that sort of stuff. There are also, well, that's basically it with Tails levels. Tails and Dr. Robotnik's levels. Now, Knuckles and Rouge's levels are treasure finding levels. Kinda like they were in Sonic Adventure 1. In Sonic Adventure 1, when you play as Knuckles, all you have to do is find the 3 pieces of the Master Emerald. And basically, they've done the exact same thing with this game. All you do is find the Master Emerald pieces, so I can't really say the gameplay has changed that much for Knuckles. Knuckles basically has the same job he had in Sonic Adventure 1. They could have come up with something different for him, but what are you going to do? There's nothing we can do. There's nothing I can do, but I can't really change it anyway. The gameplay is still as good as it was in Sonic Adventure 1, but I have to say it's definitely a lot harder. Finding the emerald pieces on some of these stages, it can take you up to an hour or two just to find 1 or 2 emerald pieces. The emerald pieces are extremely well hidden. So if there's any stage that you will take an extremely long time over, it'll be Knuckles' and Rouge's stages. Knuckles and Rouge's stages are one of the hardest stages in the entire game. You have several items for Knuckles and Rouge: your shovel claws, your fighting gloves, sunglasses which help you see invisible objects, loads of stuff. All these items will help you find the 3 missing pieces of the Master Emerald. And Rouge's levels are exactly the same, so I don't really need to talk about their levels. That's the gameplay. Okay, let's go to the good stuff about this game. The good stuff about this game is the gameplay, definitely the story. The music's awesome. And the other good thing is the bosses. The bosses in this game are extremely challenging. Let me just show you why. Right, if you've played this game before, you'll probably recognise this. This is the final boss of the game. If you haven't played this game before, I suggest you don't watch it because it's going to spoil it for you, but let me just show you. This is the final boss of the game, the final hazard. This is one of the craziest bosses I have ever seen. I mean, you got a dinosaur with a 50-foot satellite dish sticking out of its ass. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. This thing is funnier than South Park, one of the funniest South Park episodes. You got a dinosaur with 2 front legs and 2 flippers at the back. It's one of the weirdest things ever created by Sega. And on top of that, it's pulling a satellite dish which is shoved up its bottom towards Earth to try and destroy the entire planet. And when you're fighting this guy, it gets harder and harder every hit you do on him. But the boss music is awesome. This is what I call a boss song. You're awesome. And Super Shadow looks pretty good. There's also, you fight this boss, there's Super Sonic and Super Shadow. This boss fight is one of my favourite boss fights of all time. It's extremely difficult and it really doesn't disappoint you in difficulty level. Every hit, this thing gets harder. Not only do you have to kill this thing, you have to kill it before the time runs out. You have less than 5 minutes to defeat this thing. If you don't do it in less than 5 minutes, the dinosaur with a giant satellite dish shoved up its ass will crash into planet Earth and destroy everything in its path. So, as well as a boss you got to beat, you got the entire pressure of the entire world wanting you to save them. Anyway, YouTube, I'm very sorry, but I've run out of time. So join me in part 4 of my review, and I will finish reviewing the bosses and the rest of this game. So until then, YouTube, bye-bye.